Hey guys, welcome to Game Informed Family. This is Game Informed Mom, and today we're going to be taking a look at starting out in Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers. I feel like OBS did something weird there. If it did, I'm sorry. First, really quickly, we're going to touch on Data Center. I'll have a link in the description to a video that touches a lot more on Data Center versus World, but very quickly, it'll also be in the top right corner for those of you that can do that. If you want to play with friends, it is vitally important that you are on the same data center. Your data center is like Aether, Primal, Crystal, Chaos, Light, Elemental, Gaia, and Mana. Once you choose the data center, and now if possible, you're going to want to play on a data center that is as close as humanly possible to where you actually live. If you live in North America and you try to play on a Japanese data center, you might have some ping issues. Depending on your internet, your mileage is going to vary on that. I live in North America, so I play on Primal because it's a North American data center, and I just picked a random one because I didn't have anybody that played, so I was just like, Primal sounds good to me. Alright, so my main is on Leviathan. If someone wants to play with me, they have to be on Primal. If they want to join my guild, they have to be on Leviathan. If they just want to play and they don't care about being in the free company or the guild with me, they can be on Ultros or Femfrit. It doesn't matter. But if they join Balmung, we can never play together. You have to be on the same data center. Alright? Beyond that, it doesn't really matter much. Choose one that's closest to you if at all possible. If you're playing with friends, make sure you're on the same one, preferably the same world, but sometimes you can't create new characters on a world. If it's considered a congested world, you can't create a new character, so you may have to pick a different world within that server so that you can play with your friends, and then you just can't be in the same guild. Now, there is a service through the MOG station where you can change your home world. It's not free, but it's there. We're not going to talk about that though. The MOG station is a discussion for a whole different video. Okay, now, like I said, you can play up to level 60 on every single job. That includes the melee, like the, archer, tank, healer, DPS, that's all of those, as well as all of the crafting jobs. Oh, I'm waiting for a character to come up, and I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? Why isn't it loading? Because there's not a character. Ooh, special flower today. Alright, so you've just started. You're looking at this blank screen here, and I doubt you're doing what I did and waiting for a character to come up, because you know you don't have a character. So you're going to hit new character. I mean, we're not going to load any appearance data because you're not going to have that because you just started. But you can save your character data so you can make like the same character over again, but I don't know why you would want to do that. So, okay. As a free trial player, alright, like I said, you can level to level 60. Now, it sounds fantastic, right? I mean, yeah, you can play the whole game all the way up to the end of Heavensward. Yeah, you can. But there are restrictions on that. Those restrictions include you cannot use the market board, which is this game's version of the auction house. Let's make him move around because he's kind of being boring. Alright, so you can't use the auction house, which means that you can't buy or sell stuff on the auction house. You can't join free companies, which is this version of guild. You basically can't do social things. They do that, I think, to cut down on real money trading. Buying in-game currency or gear or mounts or whatever for real money. And they do a pretty good job on that. I mean, they ban accounts left and right. There's not, you see once in a while a real money trade like in the normal chat, But it's not that bad at all. I've played some MMOs where it's just awful. Let's look at him instead. See, he's weird. Alright, so the social aspect of the game is very, very challenging if you're a free trial member. Now, if you're playing with someone who is subscribed to the game, it's not that bad. They can start a party and invite you to it. If you're playing with someone else who is also a free trial member, neither one of you can create a party. So you can't play together unless you get a third person who is subscribed to invite you both to a party and then leave. So it's complicated. They make it difficult. Okay. I really honestly believe that the social things are so that you won't be inundated with real money trades, with real money transactions in chat and trades, in trade invites and stuff, because you can't trade either. It's like you can't trade items with another player. That's irritating, I gotta say. But at the same time, I think the other part of that is that they want you to pay that subscription so that you unlock all of this stuff. So, double-edged sword there, I think. I honestly do believe that a lot of it is to do with the real money transactions, but then fringe benefit for them, those limitations make you want to pay. Alright, so speaking of paying, if you decide, let's say you play the free trial, and you decide, no, you know what? This is too restricting. I can't do this. I'm going to pay. You've got to buy, at the very least, the starter edition, which is $20, both on the PSN and PC. Now, sometimes you can find it on sale, but not really very often. Now, that gives you access to basically what you had in the free trial, except you get everything unlocked. You get A Realm Reborn and Heavensward. If you want Stormblood and Shadowbringers, you have to buy Stormblood, or more smart would be to buy smarter would be to buy Shadowbringers because it comes with Stormblood. Alright, now, Shadowbringers, you can find it sometimes for like $30. Regular price, if I'm not mistaken, is $40 on PS4 and PC both. No, you know what? Hang on. Shadowbringers might still be $60. I am looking right now so that I can tell you for sure. Of course, now this is going to be the price as of, today, December, 27th of 2020. Oh, no, $40 for PC. And of course, they don't have one. Now, I just bought Shadowbringers for PS4. It was $40. So $40 for PC, regular price. And then there is also the Complete Edition, which is on PC, it's $60. But that would be if you do not buy the Starter Edition and just go whole hog and buy the Complete Edition for $60. It's the same price. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to pay $60 right now or you want to pay $20 and then $40 later. But again, you can get both you can get Shadowbringers for sure on sale. Like right now, it's $20 for PC. Alright, so anyway, if you decide to invest, you're looking at minimum a $20 investment to buy the game. And then you're looking at $12.99 a month for one character per world. Up to 8 characters. If you go, that's the entry level subscription. If you go with the regular subscription, it's $15.99. You can have up to 8 characters per world. Now, the game makes it so that you don't need to have alts, like at all. You can level every single job on one character. You don't have to have 46 characters. You can have one. The only difference, no, not the only difference, but the only difference that matters is appearance. You're going to look like this. You're going to be 32 inches tall. Or you're going to be a bunny woman. Now, you can change it. There is a Fantasia item. You get one for free after you finish a Realm Reborn story. Beyond that, you got to pay. And they are not cheap. So, choose wisely. But I mean, basically that is the difference. Now, there are very, very, very minor stat differences in the races. But by endgame, that does not matter. I mean, I'm talking like a point or two. Okay, a point or two difference. Like maybe this race might have one more dex than, dexterity than say a Rothgar, or 2 points. It is irrelevant. All right. Now, you've chosen your race. If you have the starter edition, you have all the way down to Aura. You've got Aura, Rogadin, Mikote, Lalafell, Elizin, and Hayur, which is human. If you have Shadowbringers, you have access to the Hrothgar and the Viera, which are the only 2 gender-locked classes. All the others you can be male or female. Whoops. All right, so we're just gonna make an Elizin. It doesn't really matter. Now, once you choose, you have a choice of 2 different clans. Again, almost irrelevant. Like this, Strength 20, Dex 23, Vit 19, Intelligence 22, Mind 19. Strength 20, Dex 20, Vit 19, Intelligence 23, Mind 21. They're close enough that endgame, it does not matter. The difference here is the color palette. The Dusk White is a darker color palette. The top one, which in this case is Wildwood, is a lighter color palette. That's the difference. I mean, I promise. All right, your height, you've got a height slider. You can be a whole short 72.2 inches or 78 inches. It's not a big difference, but it's there. And for those of you that care, whoops, you do have a slider. Okay. You can change your skin color, all of the normal things that you can do in a character creator. You've got many, many different hairstyles. If you can't find something here that's at least acceptable, I mean, they've got short, they've got long, they got this like mullet haircut, which is available on some of the other races as well. Some of the haircuts are not available to all of the races. Or at least that's what it seemed. Yeah, because there's definitely... Oh, okay. Yeah, that worked out. Let's make her stand. I mean, there's a lot. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button. And see, you've got... Oh my. That's... makes her ears look huge. Alright, so we're just gonna go with that. It doesn't really matter. You can have purple hair with... green highlights. That is not green. Okay, there we go. Purple hair with green highlights. You've got a couple of different facial structures that you can choose. I don't really care about the jaw. These things don't really matter to me when I make my characters. Now, the eyes. You can have 2 different color eyes. So we're going to have one. Oh my, she is freaky looking. Your eyebrows, you got a couple of... Well, you can't see her eyebrows anyway. Your nose, you got some different shaped noses. Now, normally I do put a lot more care into my character creation, but you guys can look at your character creation on your own. She's gonna have some big old ears. They've got some ear clasps. We'll leave them both on. So one thing that I was a little upset about in the character creation is the lack of facial features. I mean, like, it's not so much noticeable on the female because, I mean, you're not going to have facial hair. But the males, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 facial hairs. It's rather unimpressive. Oh, yeah, we're going to give her stars, too. Alright, we're going to make that sure that color works. You can change the color of the face paint. You guys can mess around with all of this on your own. This is that's what she's gonna sound like. Now you can change the background. You can kind of put her in more like a, you know, a setting that you might actually see in the game. Actually, this is a location in the game, minus the house or the little building that's right there. But that bridge, you'll see that bridge. Oh, they kind of modified the location just a hair. All right, but anyway, you can be in a building. This building looks familiar. All right, so you can kind of see yourself in different locations, you know, different lighting, whatever. Although I do it, but it's not important right now. All right, so you've chosen your race, you've made your character. All right, let's play. All right, we are ready. No, we're not going to save appearance data because I'm not ever going to make this. Oh my gosh, there's more choices. What? Okay, so let's go into this. Your date of birth. It does not matter. Oops, it is completely and utterly irrelevant. I always pick my own birthday, just because. Your patron deity, again, completely and totally irrelevant. It does not affect your stats. It does not affect anything. This would be, I guess, if you're like a role player, or if you want to give your character like a backstory, I guess that would be useful. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Birthday and patron deity mean absolutely nothing at this point. My understanding is patron deity used to mean something, but I'm not even 100% on that. That could be, I could have been misinformed. All right, now, let's talk about your job. So before we talk about job, there are 3 starting locations. If you're starting with another person, that could be important. So this particular job is Gladiator. It's going to start in Ul'dah. Pugilist, also Ul'dah. Marauder's going to be in Limsa. Lancer and Archer are both going to be in Gridania. And then Conjurer as well will be Gridania. Thaumaturge will be Ul'dah, and then Arcanist is going to be in Limsa. If you want to be together from level 1, you have to choose your jobs carefully. You can change your job later, but you might get stuck with a job that you don't like for 10 levels and that you might hate. Alright, so let's talk about Gladiator real quick. So we will switch to our job, clothing, gear, whatever. So Gladiator is eventually going to be a paladin. At level 30, you will become a paladin. You will use a sword and a shield, just like a paladin should. Your pugilist is going to be your fist user. Alright, that will become, pugilist becomes monk. Your marauder is an axe user. That is going to become warrior. Lancer uses shock, a lance, or a spear. Well, it's a lance. I personally would have called it a spear, but it's a lance. Lancer becomes dragoon. Archer, crazy shock here, but an archer is going to use a bow. And that will eventually, at level 30, become a bard. Your magic users, you've got a staff user, a conjurer, which will become your white mage. This is your only healer at low levels. Your thaumaturge, get down here so we can see her here. Well, we really can't see her, but that's all right. Staff user again. This is going to become your black mage at level 30. And then Arcanist. Okay, so Arcanist is weird, to say the least. See that book right there? That's her weapon. That is her weapon, a book. Okay, so Arcanist up until level 30 is a DPS. At level 30, this job, and this is the only job that does this, it splits into 2 jobs. It becomes Scholar and Summoner. You level them both at the same time. So if you're playing as a Scholar, which is going to be the healer, and you switch to Summoner, like say you got Scholar to level 42, and you've never played Summoner, you've never even touched it. You switch to Summoner because your party needed a DPS and no one else had a DPS they could use. Your Summoner is going to be level 42. You won't know how to use it, but she'll be level 42. Now, no jobs or classes are gender locked at all. Only those two races are. All right, now, excuse me. Your beginner tanks are going to be Gladiator, and Marauder. Your beginner healer, as mentioned, is Conjurer. Your DPSs are going to be Pugilist, Lancer, Archer, Thaumaturge, and Arcanist. Plenty of DPSs to choose from. Now, eventually, you will get an additional 2 tanks. Dark Knight and Gunbreaker unlock much, much later, and do not have a split job. It's just, that's the job. Astrologian will become available for a healer. DPS, you will also gain access to Rogue, which becomes Ninja. Machinist, Red Mage, Samurai, and Dancer. Now, all 4 of those are just one job. It's not, you start as this, you become this. So picking your class, while important, is not final. Once you do your level 10 job quest, you can choose any other job that is in your starting city. Once you do your level 15 main story quest to get to the other main cities, you can choose any other job that is available in these 2 lists, plus also Rogue. I don't really know why Rogue isn't just available from level 1, but it's weird. Alright, so now that being said, choosing your job is actually, in my opinion, choosing your first job on your very first character before you've ever even played the game is important. If you like to be up there and you want to be the center of attention and you want to bash the monster in the face with a sword, then you're going to want to be a gladiator or a pugilist, a marauder, a lancer. You're not going to want to pick arcanist. Know your playstyle. You know your playstyle. I don't know your playstyle. I can't suggest a first class for you. All I can say is that I personally chose Archer. And it was incredibly easy for me. But I prefer a class that is ranged, and I don't like the fact that you can't move while you cast. So Archer was perfect because you can move while you're doing your skills, because there's no cast time per se. There isn't. It's complicated. You can move absolutely 100% freely as an archer, whereas as a thaumaturge, if you move, your spell gets canceled, and that irritated me. So I went with Archer. Archer's my main, which is Bard now, but alright. But if you're the type of person that you want to be up there in the thick of it, then pick one of these 4. You're not going to want to pick Archer. If you want to be the healer, then you're going to want to either go Conjurer to be healer right away, or Arcanist and just be a DPS for the 30 levels, and then you do become a decent healer. Well, no, let me rephrase. Your character can become a decent healer. I don't know that you'll be a decent healer, but your character has the ability to do so. Alright, so all things considered, pick the job that you like, that you want to play as, whatever that is. Alright, so it thinks we want to start on Exodus, which if you don't care where you start, you can just hit yes. It's a preferred world. We're going to talk about that in a second. I'm going to hit select another so that I can go over here. And this little star on these 2 worlds mean that these are preferred servers. That means that you get bonus experience while you're leveling. The experience lasts either 90 days or until the server is no longer preferred, whichever one comes last. So if the server is preferred for 180 days, after 180 days, you're done. If the server's only preferred for 10 days, you get 90 days of bonus experience, right? So that's something to consider if you're not playing on a specific world so that you can play with someone else. Now, if you don't care, I mean, a preferred server, you're going to outlevel your main story quest. You are. If you're doing your main story quest on one class, you're not changing your job. You know, you start as a thaumaturge and you absolutely love it and you play all the way through Heavensward on your thaumaturge and you never touch anything else other than maybe crafters or gatherers, but you never touch another main like damage class. You will be so outleveled, or overleveled rather, sorry. Because even on Leviathan, that is not and was not a preferred server when I made my character. I am now level 70. Nope. Sorry. I'm level 70 on my fisherman. Wait till you hear my archer level. I'm level 60 on my archer, and I am doing level 50 quests in Heavensward because I just got to Heavensward and I was already, when I got there, I was 9 levels over my story quests. Simply because I do dailies, I do other things. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I am actually going to quit this and I am going to load a character that is not new and can actually move. Alright, so we're going to load my archer here, my bard. Now, once you get in, okay, you get in, you decide you like it, right? There is so much stuff to do in this game. And these things that I'm gonna list off right now are available to free players. Okay? Now, obviously, there are quests because, hello, it's an MMO. Of course there are quests. There are raids, which are like huge dungeons that are either 8 or 24 player raids. Now, I mentioned before that you can't start a party. You can, however, go to the duty finder and start a party. I mean, start, quote unquote, a party here. You can join, like, once you unlock your first dungeon, which is Sestasha, you come here, you click on this, you hit join. I don't want to hit it because even though I'm a DPS, it is a low level dungeon and I might get stuck in a dungeon. Okay, so you hit join, you get in a group with random people. Could be good, could be bad. Best of luck to you. Which Sestasha, I mean, that's not a bad dungeon, so really. Alright, so this is my free chocobo that the game gives me. Now, I've dyed it a different color. It starts out golden yellow. And I've also removed its gear so that you can see the actual chocobo here. Let me put his gear back on here because he's quite naked. Someone in my free company actually made this gear for me. This is the title barding. He looks like Leviathan. You name your chocobo, you can name it whatever you want within, reason, 20 characters. There is chocobo racing. Now, I can't race this particular chocobo. I race a different chocobo that I raise for racing. It's complicated, don't ask. Alright, but anyway, so there are raids, there are dungeons, there's 4-player dungeons, 8-player dungeons. There are trials, which are basically just like boss fights. You just go in and boom, right there you're at the boss. You fight like the like main bosses from the story in trials. There are hunt boards, which anyone who's played other Final Fantasy games, most of them anyway, you will know what a hunt board is. Alright, there is now, okay, this one I'm going to mention, this is not available to free trial players. Housing. This is it's so large that, all this junk in our yard. This, I can't fly here, I forgot. This is our free company house. Someone in the guild built this. It certainly was not me. Now, as a subscribed player. You can join a free company. If the free company has a house, you have free access to said house at any time. You can come in, you can eat the food, you can buy stuff at the merchants, which, you know, you can, depending on the free company, you may be able to decorate. Someone else decorated ours, though. We've got our little shop over here, a little restaurant. I mean, they did a really good job. There's oddly a bed over here. That's a little weird, but you know, hey, whatever, right? You can have your, this is what am I trying to say? You change your appearance here. This one, you can access your retainers, which are basically like your liaisons to the market board. We've got a free company chest where you can share items. And then you can actually rent a room, or you don't, I mean, you only pay once, but you can actually rent a room in your free company. Mine is awful. I mean, like, really awful. See, I've just got some NPCs, a couple of garden pots, a table, and a weird doll in the middle of the room. But there is one room in our free company. Yes, we are going to look at this room. We're going to actually go in this room and finish the video here. She did a freaking fantastic job in here. All of this is put together. This was not built this way. Tables over here with a little hamburger right there. You can actually sit on the bench. I mean, it's crazy. Look at this. All right, let's go up on stage. This stage is clearly made for a Lala. I am way too tall for this. Ball dance. All right, so he's gonna dance. All right, we're gonna keep on going though. Now, back to things that free players can do. There's a casino. There is Triple Triad card game, which Final Fantasy players, if you played, what was it, 7, 8? I think it was 8 or 6. I don't know. Some of them. Some other one had Triple Triad in it. It's a card game. You collect cards and battle with other players. It's like Pokemon, except with Final Fantasy characters. All right. What else is there? Let's see, the casino. There's like little scratch-off tickets you can buy. You can buy like 3 of those a day. There's like a almost like the lottery, like the daily 4 that you buy, except it's a weekly 4. You can buy a few of those, get some coins for that. There's mini games like a claw machine. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff in the casino. There's chocobo racing in the casino. There's Domin Mahjong, which is a really weird form of Mahjong, and I don't get it. I mean, I don't really get Mahjong anyway. I'm horrible at it. But there is that. There's this game called Verminion. You use your minions in this like weird, it kind of reminds me of like a tower defense game, except not really. It's hard to explain. But, so I mean, there is a ton of content that free players can enjoy. Now, there is a cap to your gil that you're allowed to have as a free player, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 300,000 gil, which is not a whole lot. I am level 60, and I spend like crazy. I have just shy of 1 million. And I mean, I buy minions, I buy whatever I want. I spent on this gear that I have on, I probably spent about 150 to 250,000 gil on it, and I already had 3 of the pieces. So I don't really care. I spend the money. You can collect minions, you can collect mounts, you can collect junk, there's crafting, there's a deep crafting system. Like, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different crafting classes. You can be a woodworker, a carpenter, you can be a smithy, a blacksmith, I'm sorry, an armorer, goldsmith, leather worker, a weaver, an alchemist, or a culinarian. Plus, there's also a miner, a botanist, and a fisherman. This is red mage. I started leveling red mage. You can make, well, this is culinarian, that's boring. You can make weapons, you can make armor, you can make gear for the crafting classes. I mean, it's crazy. It is a deep crafting system. You can make every piece of gear that you are ever going to need while you level if you're leveling your crafters at the same time. Right? There's so much stuff to talk about. I've only scratched the surface. So, my thing with Final Fantasy XIV, if you're thinking about playing Final Fantasy XIV, play the free trial first. If you're just playing for the story, honestly, you could be a free trial member all the way through Heavensward, through the end of Heavensward, and never pay a penny. If you don't care about the social aspect, you don't want to be in a guild with anybody, you don't want to play with anybody, you just want to play, you just want to do the story, you don't have to pay a penny. Now, if the restrictions get to be too much for you, then obviously you'll want to get a subscription, buy the game and get a subscription. Now, one thing I do want to mention, if you buy the game, you have to subscribe. I mean, if you want to play it. So, let's say you download the free trial. Or, you know what? No. Let's say you skip the free trial. You didn't even know there was a free trial. You have already bought the game. You're watching this thinking, oh, well, I'm going to get some, how to start out. Yeah, well, you've bought the game. You're done. You get a 30-day free trial. And then you have to pay, or you can't play anymore. Now, that is one thing that I do not like about the way that it works. If I buy the starter edition, which is only A Realm Reborn and Heavensward, it's no more than the free trial. I should still be able to be a free member. A free player. I gave you I gave you $20. You should be happy with me that I gave you $20. Don't make me subscribe now. So I don't like that. But this game has new content coming out every few months. They bug fix constantly. Patch 5. What are we on? 5.45 just came out at the beginning of December. It had new dungeons. It had new fashion. It had so much stuff. They are putting so much into this game. It is so worth your subscription if you like the game. But play the free trial first. Make sure you like the game. If you like the game, then decide if it's worth it. So if you're in that boat where you've already bought the game, you bought the starter edition, say on the PS4 or on PC even, you bought and downloaded the starter edition. Once you're done with your 30 days, you can't play unless you subscribe. $12.99 a month or $15.99 a month. Now, there are extras, but we're not going to talk about that. That'll be another video. Because this video is already way longer than I wanted it to be. So, if you're on the free trial, don't buy the starter edition until you are positive that you want to pay the money for the subscription. Play the free trial as long as you can. As long as you can stand it. I couldn't stand it for very long. I bought in. I bought the complete edition. I got it on sale at newegg.com. I paid I think $32 or something. It was 48% off or 47%. I don't know. It was almost half off. Alright, so your mileage is going to vary on that, how long you can play the free trial and be okay with that. But if you're just playing for the story, for real, You can get by with gear from quests and gear from merchants. You don't have to use the market board to beat the story. Well, quote unquote beat. True endgame is glamour, but we're not going to talk about that. Alright, so all of that being said, this game is fantastic. It's constantly being updated. In my opinion, it is so worth your $60 initial output and the monthly subscription if you can afford the extra, $13 or $16. And hey, I get it. We're in the middle of a global freaking pandemic. Okay, I totally get it. Play the free trial. Play it as long as you can. Milk that. Okay? This game is worth a shot. What do you have to lose if you download the free trial? Nothing but your time. Alright, so we're going to be doing some more videos going in depth on some of the things in the game, but this video is already way, way, way too long to go I cannot talk, to go into any more details. The one thing that I will say, if you are a subscribed player, join a free company as soon as you find one that is not absolutely stupid. Join it. If you don't like it, leave. Who cares? You'll find another one. Now, the rest of this is for free players and subscribed players. Eat food. Gives you a 3% experience buff. You can get it at merchants. If you're subscribed, you can get it on the market board. It's available. Eat it. 3% boost. It doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, why not get it? You might as well, right? Always log out in a sanctuary, which, helps if, the game is selected, huh? This little icon right here is, it indicates that you're in a sanctuary. That gives you an experience buff when you log back in. Depending on how long you're logged out, is how much of an experience buff you get. It's only when you kill mobs, craft, or gather. It's not when you turn in your quests, but hey, experience is experience. And one last thing that I want to say. Enjoy all of the distractions that you encounter. The gold saucer, the chocobo races, triple triad, which I don't like triple triad, but hey, you might. I don't like it because it's weird. But maybe you like Mahjong. Maybe you can figure out Dome and Mahjong. All of the distractions, like fishing. My fisherman is 10 levels above my main damage character, which is my bard. My bard is level 60. My fisherman just hit level 70 today. Your crafters, enjoy it. If you like it, enjoy it. You don't have to focus on the main story quest. It doesn't matter. If you want to fish for 6 hours, then fish for 6 hours. If you want to craft all kinds of stuff that you don't need, do it. Who cares? Don't let anyone tell you how to play Final Fantasy XIV. The other ones, maybe, because, they're a little more specific. Like, my free company grows the minions that can be grown. There's like 5 or 6 minions that can be grown. For anyone wondering why these skills are up here and down here, this is just so that I can see my cooldowns. A couple of people have asked me, like in person, like they've seen a video and go, why are there buttons up here? Can you push those? Yes, I can push them with my mouse. They're not hotkeyed though, but they're just so that I can see my cooldown. So I've got a video on the HUD layout and all kinds of other stuff. I will link to pertinent videos for beginners in the description, and I will put some of them on I'll put the playlist on the top right corner and in the description as well. But I am so sorry this video got a lot longer than anticipated. It kind of got a little out of hand. But, yeah. If you enjoyed the video, if it was helpful, make sure you leave a like. If you want to see more content like this, you've got an idea on, you know, something that maybe confuses you, that maybe I can help you out with, let me know. We can throw a video together, see what I can figure out for you. And, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We very much appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next video.